And I'm starting this live stream on 11:11, at least Pacific time. I'm just gonna take a moment to check the sound. Okay. I wonder if I have, yeah, I have the sound. Okay, perfect. Greetings, dear friends. Yes. All right. So I wanted to share with you something that has been on my mind and on my heart, inspired by a wisdom of a great luminary of our time. And it's an elder who wrote many books, and he has amazing video series that I dove in last year. And it's all about how to live our true purpose every single day and how to learn to hear the mind of the universe. And ever since I came back from Peru, I just was there creating a spiritual pilgrimage and a retreat. Ever since I came back from Peru, I've been sitting in this deep contemplation of what is most important now. And like so many people right now on the planet, I have been digging deep and asking the mind of the universe, how do you want me to serve you? What is my role? What thread do you want me to hold in this tapestry of great transformation? And connecting to the mind of the universe is one of our key purposes while being in the physical form. And the luminary that I'm going to share with you, who brought us a profound wisdom, his name is Erwin Laszlo. And he talks about one of my favorite topics, the fabric of the cosmos and the science of the cosmos and the mystical intelligence. So the book that I want to share with you today, it's called The Science and Akashic Records, The Science and Akashic Field. And when I listened to his teachings, he starts with a very powerful phrase. And he says, the reason there is so much fear on the planet is because unconsciously we believe that we are just orphans floating in space, that there is no higher order, there is no higher intelligence, there is no higher meaning to our lives. And that creates existential anxiety that doesn't go away, no matter how busy you are, or no matter how successful you are, right? So he offers us a completely different view of the universe. And this is, an incredible scholar, prolific writer, visionary, and an elder who dedicated 30 plus years of researching consciousness. And my favorite phrase from his teaching, he says, we are children of the cosmos. And the cosmos is mystical intelligence. And he uses specific word mystical. The cosmos is a mystical intelligence that has a purpose, that guides us, that has a unique role for each of us to play. And the reason why so many people don't feel connection to that mystical intelligence is because our wiring, our antenna, our biocircuitry has been disconnected. And we all need to attune our inner antenna to hear the mind of the cosmos. When I contemplate on the purpose of human incarnation, my mystical answer, if I can go deep, mystical, conversation with you, there is only one reason for physical incarnation, and it's spiritual ascension, right? We take on the body as a soul to activate this divine memory of who we are, so we become conscious co-creators with the cosmos. So spiritual ascension is the goal and aim of physical incarnation, right? But before we can connect to that, we get to restore our ability to communicate with a larger reality, with this invisible net that he calls akashic field or akashic ocean. And he talks about the fifth element. We have five elements that this physical reality is made of, right? We have earth, water, air, fire, and the most secret element is ether or space or akasha. And what always supports me, and this is the reason why I'm doing this live stream, is because I see space completely different. I don't see air around me or the space around me as an empty space. It only looks like this to our normal perception. But the moment we change our consciousness, we access higher levels of consciousness, we can see what's behind this veil. There is a living codes of information and streams of intelligence, and these source codes are everywhere. And what is so profound when you begin to interact with akashic field or with this space that is intelligent and highly aware of you, you begin to receive guidance every single day. You begin to receive inspiration. You begin to receive epiphanies and illumination and creative ideas. But the requirement is to learn to connect, to learn to open the antenna. And a simple tool that I'm going to share with you today that comes from every spiritual tradition. We have a very special organ in our body that creates a direct link to a larger reality, linking us to the mind of the cosmos. And it's our sacred heart space. Our sacred heart space is the communication device to our multidimensional self, to a bigger reality, to other civilizations, right? To any other place in the universe. It's through the heart we begin to hear the guidance. But what happens living in the modern society, our hearts gets burdened. They get clogged, right? They get weighed down by the worries, by the fears, by simply way too much to do in the modern time. So to have a practice that unburdens your heart on a daily basis is the key to becoming more and more intuitive, more and more connected to the guidance of your higher self. So Erwin Laszlo calls it becoming coherent. And when I first heard that word, I was like, what is coherence? It sounds so intriguing, but what is that? And coherence is becoming more and more balanced within, coming into more and more, how would I call it, inner harmony, right? Because entire universe is coherent, entire universe moves together. And when we are out of balance, out of harmony, right, feeling torn apart, we do not hear the guidance that is meant for us. And then we feel confused about our future direction, or stuck in indecision, or not being able to actualize our dreams and visions. So the very first step, to me, it's such a daily practice. I wake up every morning and I ask myself, how do I activate my biofield, open up my energetic antenna so I could hear the mind of the cosmos that wants to communicate to me. Erwin Laszlo, I call him my quantum grandpa, literally a hero of mine, a really incredible teacher. He's in his late 80s. So I feel really blessed to be guided to these elders who are just incredible. Another one that I deeply admire is the archetypal teacher and the myth teacher, Jean Houston, and she's 84. So I feel like my higher self keeps guiding me to these elders who are approaching the end of their physical life, right? Maybe 10 more years, or I wish them longevity as much as possible. But the thing is, you're guided to these pioneers, to these luminaries who dedicated 30, 40 years of their life to bridge spirituality and science. And they have amazing, amazing knowledge for us. So we could recreate the world or recreate ourselves. That's the first task. Recreate yourself and you recreate the world. If everything is one, everything we do for our own inner harmony directly impacts the field. So there's these two steps in order to hear the mind of the cosmos. The first thing is learning to become still. And it's not easy, right? If it was easy, we would all be Zen masters. But truly, without stillness, there is no wisdom. And trust me, I often have a very active mind. My mental space can be so filled with ideas and thoughts and all the things that I need to do. So it took daily practice to learn to value stillness. But when I finally become still and clear the debris of my heart and clear the energetic body, I begin to feel this deep current of life. And that current is what gives me information on what steps to take every day, what to create, what to let go, who to communicate, what action not to take. And this is the guidance that is available. Yes, meditation, absolutely, Carmen. This is the guidance that's available for everyone, right? And so many people struggle with meditation, me included. Only recently, meditation really clicked for me. I was introduced to transcendental meditation, and it uses mantra and repetition to still the mind. Before I was able to sit in the meditation practice, what was available for me is moving meditation. I like to run outside. So when I run, the mind becomes still and I drop into that deep current. So there's many different ways, as long as we make this intentional connection to hear the mind of the cosmos. And then really cultivating the relationship with the net of life that is all around us. And I was listening to an interview last night by David Graham Hancock. He's a very famous writer. He writes about psychedelic experiences in ancient civilizations, such as my beloved Lemuria and Atlantis. And he's done a lot of research and direct experience with substances that radically alter your consciousness, such as DMT substances, such as ayahuasca or regular DMT. And he talks about it, the way you realize how the universe really works is by utilizing that technology, and it connects you to other reality. And it's just so powerful because this is my spiritual practice as well. And then after working with psychedelics for so many years, I wanted to find a daily practice that takes me to the same expanded state of consciousness. And for me, this entire year, there were so many opportunities to become really stressed. This year was a very fast vibration, right? The many doors of opportunities were opening, but you had to walk through them fast, right? Let me know if anybody else had this experience. But for me, this year of the dragon was very dynamic. You had to like seize the moment and walk through the door. And if you hesitate, the opportunity just disappears. And I remember contemplating on how important it was to get into alignment before acting, to go into alignment before making any decisions. So this year I became a breathwork ambassador. I discovered the liberating practice of activating my prana body and accessing the same expanded psychedelic state of consciousness, but without the plant medicine. And the difference is with breathwork, you gotta work for it. You gotta sit down and actually commit to rounds and rounds of breathwork. But every time you do it, you feel so nourished, you feel so expanded, you feel so connected to a larger reality. So I became this spokesperson for how to utilize the power of breathwork to come to alignment. Because then we still the mind and we begin to hear the mind of the cosmos. This is my share for Mystical Monday. And I'm going to stay and see if anybody has a question. I'm drinking my mint tea. Alignment and coherence and practice. These are my daily tools. Yeah, please ask. Please ask. I'm here for you. And sometimes while the question comes, yesterday I had a conversation with a dear spirit sister of mine, and she said, sometimes when you don't hear the answer, it means trust what you already know. Sometimes silence is an answer from the universe. And I thought that was a really phenomenal reminder, right? A really phenomenal reminder. Yeah, okay. So Tamaris is asking, I feel fear when it comes to expressing myself authentically online. Yeah, fear of jealousy and as if it can affect my reality. My question is, why do you feel called to express yourself online? Start with your why. Like, what is that inspiration coming from? And I can only imagine that inspiration coming from because you believe that what you can share can help other people, can inspire other people, right? So when you connect to your why, then all these fears of expressing yourself, they become less and less important. And expression is a muscle, right? It gets developed through repetition, through putting yourself out there. Where? Out there, right here. And sharing your story. Sharing your story, but always ask yourself, why? I recorded a video, it's on my YouTube channel, about turning your wounds into wisdom. And I'm going to drop that video underneath this one as well. And I was sharing that so many people right now feeling the call to become or to be messengers. And not many people feel the call of seeing themselves as teachers, which maybe feels more intimidating, right? But I love the archetype of a teacher because a teacher is somebody who gathers people for growth, learning, and transformation, right? The teacher is not somebody higher than you or somebody who has more authority than you. A teacher is somebody who has this passion to gather people for inspiration, education, and transformation. So still, I find that a lot of people feel called to be a messenger, a messenger of their own life story, of their own transformation, right? So I would ask you, what is the message that you feel compelled to share? What is your message? What was your life theme? What were your biggest lessons? And desire to express yourself is a very healthy human desire. It's actually a human need, right? So there's these human needs, basically things that we get to have in order to feel fulfilled, in order to feel like we have a meaningful life. And the first human need is, of course, physiological needs like shelter, food, and water. The second human need is actually love and connection, right? Without love, we don't thrive. The third human need is some kind of a nourishing environment, right? So a home that nourishes us, because our homes is a spaces for nourishment. And the next human need is creative expression. So when I meet people who struggle with a sense of fulfillment, I am telling you, like 10 out of 10, that lack of fulfillment comes because they don't allow themselves to be creatively expressed, because out of fear, self-doubt, or simply not wanting to go through an awkward stage when you're developing your expression, right? So people who express themselves really well, they don't start from that mastery, right? They start from, I'm choosing to speak from my heart. I'm choosing to share what's on my heart. And it's always going to be received authentically when you speak from the heart, because a heart hears another heart. Thank you, Wendy. Aloha. I am taking questions. If anybody else has another question, I have, maybe 5 more minutes. So I would love to hear. Let me know. Yeah. Hearing the mind of the cosmos. And a little announcement while I am holding space for question. If you would love to learn some new alignment practices and resilience tools, and come join the experience, a nourishing spiritual growth experience tonight, I am hosting a very impromptu coherence experience. And this inspiration came to me this morning from the mind of the universe to weave a nourishing space for people to come, to clear the energy, to reconnect the heart space, and to learn new tools. Because in order for us to move forward this year, next year, the year after, it's all about becoming stronger and more resilient, and also developing a clear, calm mind, right? Available heart, calm mind. So this is why I keep inviting people and gathering people in the spaces of group growth and group transformation and group liberation in a way. So if you'd like to join us, you can see the link on my Facebook, and we go from there. Yeah, you're so welcome. I hope that answer was supportive for you. I'm going to wish everyone a beautiful week. Remember, we are children of the cosmos. And one of my favorite thought to contemplate is the cosmos became you. The universe became you. And for me, all it takes is to connect to this bigger picture, and I feel my inner peace and harmony and inner direction, and being supported by the universe. So the universe is experiencing itself through each of us. And I know sometimes it's not easy to wrap our human mind around, But this is why we read books like The Science of Akashic Field, where a great luminary gives us science of how it actually so. So, yeah. So, thank you so much. This was beautiful to connect with everyone and to remember to unburden your heart space and to clear the impact of the collective field every single day. Um, Maybe I'll speak a few more minutes on this topic. It becomes non-negotiable to practice energetic clearing every single day because, here in US, if some of you watching, I'm streaming directly from United States. Here in the US, we're approaching a very interesting times that's called political election. And what often comes with this chapter, it's a lot of excitement and a lot of energetic density, energetic turbulence, right? Because pretty much everybody has a lot of different feelings and emotions about this election, and those feelings and emotions are being placed in the collective field, right? Every feeling and emotion actually has an entity on the astral plane. So when you start feeling heavy energetically, it's because that's what's happening in the collective field. But we don't need to feel limited or constricted or victimized by that. We can practice our energetic hygiene, our energetic practices, right? To make sure that we clear these collective imprints. I would say, if you feel intensification, trying to pronounce this word, intensification, I got it. Okay, so English is my second language, everyone. Intensification, if you feel intensification of restless energy, and it is because you are, and you don't even watch news, right? You're not even participating in that, but you start feeling restless, agitated, right? Really turbulent. Pause everything and clear your energy, right? And a really powerful tool that I want to offer you that I use every single day is creating a spiritual protection around you, right? I do this every day, right? Every single day. And the way that I do it, I learn from all spiritual traditions, right? Hindu, shamanism, Tibetan, the Hermetics, they all recommend and suggest two things. First, create a circle of light around you. I like to work with a different color. So I visualize a color of golden flame around me. And I circle myself with this protective energy. And then what I do, I fill that circle like a column of light with divine frequency, right? And then the second is to focus on the light. When you're moving through energetic density, train your mind to focus on the light. Feeling energetic density, sitting with the fears, but transforming it through these tools that I shared with you. I find that this is the time for all of us to become energetic alchemists, right? It's not just for practitioners or spiritual teachers or people who lead circles. Everyone gets to develop a toolbox in order to navigate this ever increasing acceleration of energy on the planet. And if we don't have the tools, and if we don't make it important to develop them, we're going to continue to be more and more vulnerable and more restless and less grounded. And from that place, you can't move forward with clarity. So this is my encouragement for everyone to continue to develop your energetic mastery, and different tools are available in so many different ways. So that's what I wanted to share. Thank you everyone who joined. I'm going to post this video on my YouTube and Instagram. And if you'd love to connect tonight, Coherence Circle is a group energy healing, resilience, stress removal techniques, and spiritual growth circle is available tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific, and I'm going to drop the link underneath this video. I hope to see you there. Have a beautiful, incredible, loving, and harmonious week.